In this video, I'm going to explain how to get started or get going estimating a project in PlanSwift and Red Rhino estimating software. Now, you'll notice I have PlanSwift open on this screen. For one thing I want to tell you is everything that you do starts and ends in Red Rhino connector. Here's what I mean by that. To get started here, I'm going to open the Red Rhino connector. Now, if yours is already opened, you don't have to keep opening it, but I'm just going to click on the RR connector. It'll open a screen here, and I'll type in my username and password to get going. The same username as you would use to log into Red Rhino, okay? Same username and password, just like you're logging into Red Rhino. Okay, so I've typed in my username and password. I just click log in. Give it a couple seconds and it'll open up the Red Rhino connector. Okay, now here's what I want to tell you. In order to get started in PlanSwift, to get going, I want to just show some of the setup that I've done here first, okay? You got to understand this, okay? I've already obviously imported my Red Rhino connector. I've already obviously imported the Red Rhino assemblies and products here in this window over here. Now, I'm going to go on with you. I've already imported blueprint plans, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. So let me explain. The first thing you have to do is from the connector then, after you open up PlanSwift, you open the connector and log in, you'll go in here. I'm going to select this job, Taco Bell, to work on. So in the connector, I open this up and I click on Taco Bell. See, if when I click on it, it turns blue, and I click on Open Job. Okay, so you have to open the job in PlanSwift from the Red Rhino connector in order to do it right. Now I'm just going to go ahead and minimize this right now. And here I wanted to explain that I've already uploaded the blueprints. Now I have videos showing you all the setup, and I've named some of these architectural plans. You can see I've named them, the ones that I think I might have to deal with. I'm going to scroll down here real slow. I see the reflected ceiling plan. That's again an architectural plan. I might need to refer to that later. And scroll down here. I've gone and named and scaled these blueprints. Okay, so let me show you another view here. When I'm estimating with PlanSwift, you're seeing this being recorded on a 32-inch monitor. The way I do it is I estimate on two computers, or I should say on a laptop and a 32-inch monitor. Currently, again, PlanSwift is on the monitor. So I open Red Rhino on the other computer. I'm going to show you this. Okay, so again, this is how I set it up. You can't tell by looking, but this is actually a 32-inch monitor on the right with PlanSwift opened. And on the left, I have Red Rhino opened, and I've drilled down into the job or the estimate I've created, showing the sections, okay? And then as I described before, I have my Red Rhino connector minimized here. Let me drag it over here. Minimized, but it's all open, okay? Now I'm going to show you how to get started. Okay, now you'll see I'm just showing you my 32-inch monitor with PlanSwift on it. I'm going to drill down into the power floor plan E3.0 here. When I do, it displays the blueprint, and I'm going to zoom in here. I'm doing this with my mouse. Just I have a wheel on my mouse that I zoom in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by showing you how to take off using the assemblies and the products in Red Rhino. Now, this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm showing you how to do this. I'm not going to go estimate a whole job here, but I'm going to show you the idea how to do this, okay, so you get it and can do it yourself. Now first I'm going to use the assemblies to estimate these 20 amp receptacles. This is a commercial project, so I click on the little plus sign next to assemblies, and it displays the assembly catalog in PlanSwift. Now these assembly catalogs you should recognize because they're presented the same in Red Rhino software. I'm going to drill down into 200 commercial industrial because this is a commercial electrical estimate. I'll click the plus sign and it opens up subcategories under that. Now what I want to do next is I want to drill down into the category of assemblies I'm looking for. As I explained, I'm looking for receptacle assemblies. So I'll click on the plus sign next to receptacles in this folder, and then I'm going to keep just drilling down until I find what I want. In this case, I need receptacles with stainless steel covers. I'll click on that. And when I click on that, it actually displays then the assemblies that are in Red Rhino, okay? Now what I have to do is I have to find the assembly I'm looking for. I happen to know I'm looking for a 20 amp standard receptacle. Okay, now here's the trick to getting going with this. In order to digitize or to start counting, what you want to do is find the item you're looking for and just go click the little, oops, I moved off of it, click the little green dot. Now when I click the green dot, it opens a screen here. Next, what I do is I go to the bottom of this pop-up here, I click the drop down. Here now I want to select what section I want to do this takeoff for, okay? Now this Taco Bell is the name of the project, and then these are the names of the sections that I've created, okay? So I'm going to put this, I'm going to estimate these or put these in the branch and lighting section, so I select that. Now once I do, I just click OK. When I click OK, the digitizer here lights up, and when I click on the screen here, it's going to count items. Let me show you that. Okay, so I just go on the blueprint and I prefer to click next to instead of on top of. I'm going to click next to these outlets. You'll see it's leaving a symbol here. In this case, it's a green plus sign or X. And I'm just clicking next to each one. Now I want to make an observation here. As I click on this, for one thing, on the screen there, see where it shows a click 0.5? It's counted 5 so far. And then the other thing is what it's doing is it's recording that count over here. So what it's doing is recording taking off 5 assemblies. Now as I keep clicking around here, I can do it very quickly. Just noodle around on these plans and click the items. As I do that, it continues to count them here. Now when I'm done, I can either right click on the page and click stop. Okay, that's what I prefer to do, and I'm just going to do that now in this example. I'll show you other ways possibly to do that, but I'm just going to stop digitizing now, and I click stop. So again, I right-clicked on the screen, I see this, and I click stop. Okay, again, so now for demonstration, I'm just going to show, I notice there's some quad outlets here, and we have assemblies pre-built for quad receptacles. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to find the right assembly. Here's 2 duplex receptacle, 20 amp standard. I happen to know that means 2 duplex means a quad. I'm going to click the green sign to the green dot, I should say, to digitize. And when I do, it opens it up. I'm going to select the section. Now here it's already set to the section that I want. Again, if I wanted to change sections or put it in a different section, I would just go drill down into the sections here. Again, I'm going to leave it with branch and lighting. Of course, I want to take off outlets and branch. I just click OK, and when I do, it'll digitize. Now, I'm just going to go mark a couple of these. There's a couple of quads. There's one here. Notice it marks it with a different color. And here's another quad right here. I'll just click next to them. Again, you see it digitize over here. Now, I'm going to stop digitizing. I right-click and stop, and now it's going to quit counting. Let's say that you're taking off different items and you go, oh gosh, I forgot some more duplex receptacles. What you can do then at this point, you don't have to locate them over here anymore once you've input them in the plan page. I just have to come over here and click on this green dot to digitize over here. Okay, I forgot some of these duplex, and I want to count them. I'm actually going to select this one. Let's say I forgot some of these outlets. I'm just going to click on this. It digitizes again, and it'll start counting them again as I click on this page. Okay, now I'm going to stop digitizing, and I'm going to show you kind of another segment or another piece of the puzzle here using Red Rhino. Now next what I'm going to do, I'm just going to actually collapse this information here. I click the little negative sign. You see these menus collapse over here. Okay, and I'm going to collapse the assemblies completely and drill down in the products. Now again, I'm just showing you how to do this. I'm going to show how to drill down in the product catalog in a different plan to do takeoff using the product catalog. I'm going to do takeoff now in the panel schedule sheet here. Okay, so I click on panel schedule, it opens it up. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. And again, I'm not going to take off all this information. I'm showing you how to do this, so I won't be inputting all of this just for demonstration purposes. You get it. Okay, so you make this the size that you want to. I'm looking for the trip size or the ampacity of these circuit breakers. I'm going to drill down in the product catalog and take those off next. Okay, so what I do is I drill down into product 8000, and I'm looking for circuit breakers here. I'm going to scroll down, circuit breaker termination labor, okay? Click the little plus sign, And then it opens up now, and these are all the different items for circuit breaker termination. Just read through them to find the one you're looking for. But again, we have a wide variety of circuit breakers, 1-pole, 2-pole, and 3-pole. Now this is pretty simple on this drawing here. They're all 20 amp 1-pole circuit breakers, right? Oh, here's a 2-pole 30. So let me do those just real quick. Again, I find the circuit breaker or the item I'm looking for. I click green to digitize, a little green dot. It opens up. I want this to go. I'm going to select the section, which is feeders and panels, and click OK. Now it's ready to digitize. I simply go down here and I check the items next to the circuit breakers I want to count. Okay. As I do, again, it digitizes over here, shows the count, as well as showing the count on the screen. Okay, now in this case, I'm going to right click and I'm going to stop, but normally I'd go through this whole page and count all these circuit breakers for estimating an input. Now I'm just going to go now and find a 2-pole 30 amp. I'll digitize on it or click the little green dot. It's also going to go in the feeders and panel section. I click OK. Okay, now I'll just go click this one right here and it counts that 30 amp 2-pole circuit breaker. Okay, now I've shown you enough information to know how to drill down. Again, get used to finding what you're looking for in these product or assembly catalogs, and you simply go click on it and count it. It digitizes over here, and then, okay, let me stop digitizing here. There, I'll stop. And then next I'm going to show you how to export materials and assemblies into Red Rhino software. Okay, now it's time to move those materials and counts back into Red Rhino. I'll show you how to do that. Now I'm going to use the Red Rhino connector to export the materials back into Red Rhino. So I go up here and click on Estimating tab. And when I do, what it does is it displays the job, the Taco Bell is a job, and it displays the sections in that job. Now, I only took off materials in 2 sections here, and it displays those materials, okay? So now I'm going to open up the Red Rhino connector, and I'm going to move it over to the screen that you're viewing. And so next what I do is I have to actually select these items. I'll select these items and I'll use the connector to export them back to Red Rhino. I'll show you what I mean. First, I click the drop down on the connector and select Export Takeoff. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Again, the connector here talks between Red Rhino and PlanSwift and vice versa. So I click on Export Takeoff. And when I do, I have to select then the job. And so I'm going to click on Taco Bell. And then I have to select the section that I'm going to export to. I'm going to export to the section feeders and panels first. Now you have to select these correctly, okay? I'm just going to move this down and out of the way. And again, I selected Taco Bell job in the connector and the feeders and panels sections. Now I'm just going to go highlight these items. I'm going to hold down my control button and click on each of these items, okay? Now, sometimes there might be hundreds of items, okay? You just want to go select the items you want to export. And then let me move this back up. After I've selected them, I just click Export Takeoff button down here. Let me move this up, make sure you can see it. Okay, at the bottom of the connector, I click Export Takeoff. Now, when it's done, it tells you so. Export completed successfully. I'll just move this out of the way. And then on PlanSwift, oops, let me open this up a little bit. It shows that these items were exported, okay, in the end column over here. So that's how you do takeoff with assemblies and products and how you export materials back to Red Rhino software. Now, as I told you before, I like to estimate with Red Rhino opened and PlanSwift opened on separate screens there. Now I'm showing Red Rhino here, and the section that I input materials to was the feeders and panels section. Now I'm going to click Takeoff Edit in Red Rhino, and it will display the items that I took off from PlanSwift, okay? Again, they exported back into PlanSwift. Okay, so that's how it works. Just follow those instructions. You know, guys, the best way to learn this is just go play around with it and get familiar with Plan Swift and the different functionality. There's no substitute for experience, so just go in and play around on it, noodle around, input different things, count different things, see how it works, export them back into Rhino, go create a make-up estimate, okay, a fake estimate, and just practice, okay, that's the key. And then call us if you need help. If you're logged in, you see our phone number at the top here, and just call if you need help.